Good morning, children. Today we are here to discuss Unit 9 Electrical Conductivity of Liquids of 8th class. Within this session, today we are going to discuss about Activity 3. What does this Activity 3 gives information? It gives information about electric conductivity of electrolytic substances. What is electric conductivity? It is a property of a material. What type of material it is? Electrolytic substances. What is called as an electrolyte? Electrolyte is nothing but what if you go for a present battery there. The battery consisting of a liquid battery will be there as well as jelly substance also will be that existing within that particular battery. Therefore, electrolyte is nothing but what? It is a liquid or jelly substance which contains ions. What type of ions will be there? Positive ion will be there as well as negative ions will be that existing. And decomposes means what? Splits up. Decomposes means what? Splits up. For example, sodium chloride solution is there. This sodium chloride aqueous solution, as current is passing through this particular substance, it can split up in the form of sodium plus ion as well as Cl minus ion. It is an electrolytic substance. It is an electrolytic substance which is in the form of liquid state, which contains in the form of ions, positive ion as well as negative ion. So what happens as the current is passing, it is decomposing, means what? Splitting up in the form of ions, cation as well as anion. That particular process, by one process, that process is called as electrolysis process. What is that process called as? Electrolysis process. Therefore, that is the substance what is we taking, it may be a liquid or a jelly substance which containing in the form of a chemical substance in the form of ions can exist, and that ions, what happened when current is passing to that particular substance or that substance, it split up in the form of ions such as sodium chloride is split up in Na plus as well as Cl minus ion, copper sulfate if you are taking there, Cu plus ion plus SO4 2 minus, Cu2 plus as well as SO4 2 minus, in that particular way splitting up in the form of ions by means of one process called as electrolysis process, that is called as electrolytic substance. To perform this particular activity 3, electrical property of electrolytic substance, material required are, we are taking how many containers here? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more container also you take it up. As I have added one more substance called as sodium hydroxide, a base substance. 4 containers are taken. In first container I have taken only distilled water. Second container what I have taken? In all containers I have added distilled water. Later on what happened there? In second container I added salt substances. In third container copper sulfate, with distilled water copper sulfate substance I have added. In fourth container lemon juice is added to with the distilled water. When it comes to fifth one, distilled water is mixed up with what? Sodium hydroxide solution. Whereas sodium hydroxide solution is a base substance. Lemon juice is nothing but what? It is having acidic nature, and Copper sulfate is also a salt solution. Already salt solution is existing. Salt, acid as well as basic substances I have taken here to perform this particular activity. To perform this activity, similarly in what way we went through activity 2. In activity 2, what we have taken there? We have taken one cap. What is the cap? Injection cap, we have taken it up. Through that particular injection cap, I have taken two metal strips at distance of 2 millimeter distance. Between them, how much distance it is? 2 millimeter distance separated between them. I have injected into that particular rubber cap. Then afterwards, I have connected to a dry cell consisting of LED bulb as a tester. Tester means what? To test. Tester means what? A little bit amount of current, if it is flowing to that particular solution, can be easily identified by that particular device. That is what? LED bulb. Connecting to what? By means of connecting wire, I am connecting it to what? To this particular metallic strips as well as dye cell as well as LED bulb. In what connection? Series connection I have connected. First of all, what I did within this particular cap, rubber cap, we have taken an injection bottle rubber cap. Within that rubber cap, first of all you add distilled water. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. First you take up how many distilled water, just you add it into this particular container. Into this particular cap, until and unless what happens there, the metal strips are in contact with each other. As we are adding water, they both have to get in contact with each other. Up to that particular time, add little bit quantity of water into that particular cap. As we are adding, the metal strip will be in contact with each other. As before adding it up, touch these two metal strips with your hand and close it together so that what happens? Bulb glows. Bulb is glowing means what? It is existing in a circuit. Simple circuit is existing. Then afterwards, when these two metal strips are in contact with each other, bulb have to be get glow compulsory. But if you are, when it comes to first one, that is what? Distilled water. Here we will observe that bulb cannot glow. LED bulb doesn't glow. As it is not glowing, what does it indicate? Current is not flowing through that particular circuit. As the current is not flowing through that particular circuit, therefore that particular distilled water can be called it as nothing but what? Non-electrolyte substance, we can call it up, which is not allowing current to be get past. That substance is called as non-electrolyte substance. Therefore, if current is not flowing, what happens? We will call that particular matter as a bad conductor of electricity or poor conductor of electricity. Therefore, by this we understood that distilled water is a non-electrolytic substance which is a bad conductor or poor conductor of electricity. We got it up. After that, take out that particular distilled water from that particular cap. Wipe that particular metal strips with cloth and dry that particular cap, dry that particular metal strip, and again you add distilled water consisting of salt, add a certain quantity of salt into that particular one. Whenever for distilled water as I have added ingredients called as salt, it becomes as nothing but called electrolytic substance. It will act as electrolytic substance. If it is behaving like electrolytic substance, it will split up in the form of ions and decomposes by means of process called as what? Electrolysis process. Therefore, salt means what? Sodium chloride solution if you have taken a salt. The salt, what else common salt, what else will use it up in preparation of food. The common salt formula is what? Sodium chloride solution, aqueous solution. Split up in the form of NaCl, Na plus as well as Cl minus, decomposes by means of electrolysis process. Due to that, bulb will be glowing continuously. As the bulb glows, we can understand that current is flowing through that particular circuit. What is flowing through the particular circuit? Current is flowing through that particular circuit. Therefore, we will call it as nothing but what? Distilled water with water. It is an electrolytic substance. It is an electrolytic substance which is called as a good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity. Then again, replace that particular distilled water, salt, and wipe with what? Wipe the metal strip with cloth as well as dry the cap, and again add distilled water with copper sulfate solution. Whereas copper sulfate solution is also a salt substance. It is also act like what? Electrolytic substance. Means what happened? Copper will split up in the form of Cu2 plus ion as well as SO4 2 minus ion. Why means it have to split up in the form of ion. It contains ion and decomposes means what? Splits up by means of one process. What is that process? Electrolysis process. Therefore, Cu2 plus ion as well as SO4 2 minus ion, which will be act as electrolytic substance. Therefore, bulb will be glowing continuously as the current flow is taking place. The LED bulb, the cluster bulb, what else we are using it up? Bulb glows. So that by that we can say that it is a good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity, we can give it up. Later on, fourth condition, what I am taking there again. Take out that particular liquid distilled water with copper sulfate solution away. With that particular metal strip with cloth. Dry that particular cap and again add distilled water consisting of lemon juice. Lemon juice is of what nature? Acidic nature. Acidic nature means what? In acidic substances, H plus ions will be maximum. In basic substances, OH minus ions will be maximum. Here also, this acidic substance will split up in the form of ions. In the form of ions, they will be get split up. Therefore, it is also an electrolytic substances which will split up in the form of ions as the current is passing through the particular substance by means of electrolysis process. Therefore, bulb will be get glowing and current flow will be taking place. Bulb also will be glows continuously, and therefore we can say that this lemon juice is a good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity, we can take it up. Later on, take over that particular lemon juice away, and again this rubber cap with the metal strips with cloth and dry the cap of injection bottle. Add distilled water consisting of sodium hydroxide, whereas sodium hydroxide is a base substance. What substance it is? A base substance. Therefore, this sodium hydroxide will split up in the form of Na plus ion as well as OH minus ion. It will split up. It contains ions such as cation as well as anion and decomposes by means of electrolysis process. Therefore, split up decomposes means what? Splitting up in the form of ions, Na plus ion as well as Cl minus ion. So that whatever this splitting allow the current to be get flow through the particular circuit. So therefore, the LED bulb glows continuously. As the LED bulb is glowing continuously, we can say that this is also an electrolytic substances which conduct electricity. Therefore, they are called as good conductors of electricity. Good conductors of electricity. Got clarity, children? Therefore, now we understood electrical conductivity of electrolytic substances. Means what? As a better electrical conductive property of electrolytic substances, what we have seen clearly. For pure distilled water, when I have not added any other substances, it is behaving like a non-electrolytic substances, which doesn't allow electricity to be get passed through that particular substance. But for that particular pure water, if we are adding some certain minerals called as salt, certain minerals if we add called as salt or lemon juice or copper sulfate substances as well as sodium hydroxide substances, they are attaining electrolytic nature. That's the reason pure water doesn't exist, it doesn't have electrolytic nature, but whereas water with drinking water with minerals as well as salt ingredients existing within that one, what happens? It contains electricity, heavy. It can act as a good electrolytic substances. That's the reason. What happened when farmer with their wet hands near fields, when he is going to start that particular motor, what happened? As his hands are very wet of the drinking water, what he has used is there. So that what happened, as he is switching on that particular starter, he can be get electric shock. I means water will be act as a high electrolytic substances with a mixture of certain impurities or minerals existing within that particular substance will act as a high electrolytic substance. That's the reason they will give a cautious for us not to touch any electrical equipment which is existing in our house with wet hands. Why means if we're touching is what, high possibility of flowing of current can be taken place. If high possibility of current is flowing, high electrolytic nature it attains. So that what happens, current flows to the body and to some extent a person, he can get a shock there itself. Depending upon the quantity of water in which we are standing or how much quantity of water which is existing to our hand. By this we understood clearly that what we understood, electrical conductivity of electrolytic substances. Most of the liquids conduct electricity such as, what are those liquids here? Salt solution is one liquid, acidic substance is also one more liquid, base substance also is another substance. These will be acting like what? Electrolytic substances which conducts electricity, but whereas pure water doesn't conduct electricity. By this we have completed our activity, children. Try to analyze this particular activity by watching number of times and gain knowledge. Thank you, children.